Hello, welcome to Nana's Journey. I'm Deanna, and today it's time for the Palazzo block of the month. We are doing black this month. This is Carrara Black and White. This is sponsored by Aurifil, and we are making these two buildings. Palazzo means building in Italian, and these four, I want to call them leaves, but I'm not exactly sure what they're called. This is the quilt, and we're going to be making these black pieces. So we're only doing the bottom half of the quilt. The top half will be in gray. I have got my paper pieces all prepared. I copied them out at actual size. I personally like to trace the lines on the back and the numbers, and I pre-fold each section to make the sewing easier. So we're going to have 4 of these. I will show you how to make one. And we're going to have, the building is in 3 sections. It's an E3, E2, and E1. So we'll do these 4 on camera, and I'll do the rest off camera, and we will get that done and add that to our collection of blocks. So let's get to the sewing machine. Okay, just so you know, I've got my machine stitch length at 108. These are the threads that came with it. We've got 2625 for the gray. The white is 2021. These are Aurifil. And the black is 2692. I have my cutting board handy. My iron is on that's next to me. I have my add a quarter ruler, my rotary cutter. And if you want to know more about the pattern and stuff, you can watch a video, the introduction video for block 1, and I will leave a link for that in the description below. But we are going to start with this piece, and this is the leaf thing, and this is black. This is number 1. So we're going to put wrong side to wrong side. So this goes face up. And I'm going to look at this through the window to make sure I've got a 1/4 inch on all sides, and I'm going to pin it. You can also just look and say, okay, that's the nearest. You've got that point there. I do have a 1/4 inch there, and then more than a 1/4 inch. So what we're going to do, first thing we do is we find a number 2. There's number 2. So I've already pre-folded. We're going to fold and trim. This is a process that we're just going to keep repeating. Go fold, trim, sew, press. So we're going to find number 2. And put those right sides together. So that is covering. Take this pin. And I know it's a little piece, but because I flip it, most of the time I pin it so that it doesn't move. Now I'm going to lock my stitch at this point, sew and lock my stitch at this point. If your machine does not lock, you'll need to do some back stitching. Just a couple stitches will be fine. and then lock your stitch. Okay, now I will press. Okay, now we find a number 3. There's number 3 right here. Fold it over, trim, sew, and then press. Get number 3 on, right sides together. Make sure you go 1/4 inch past that point at least. And we're going to go between 2 and 3. Find number 4, which is on the other side. Yeah, right here in the corner. Whoops. Do you need to have it this way? Just grab number 4. Make sure it comes a little past that point. Now we can go, because this is an edge piece, we can start, if you want, you can start off the edge and then come to the point. So now we're going to do number 5, which is over here. Make sure right sides are together. And again, I can go off the edge to the point. And press. And there's our block before we trim it, and we will trim on the dotted lines, but we will do that in a bit. Next, let's work on these. We've got background 1. Whoops, and that goes face up. Wrong side of the fabric to the wrong side of the paper. And there we go. And then we repeat our process. There's number 2. So I find piece number 2. And this is E3. And press. And trim. So we're going to do number 3. Trim for number 4. This one is done exactly the same way as this one, so I'll do that one off camera, and that leaves us with this one. So again, we start with number 1. It goes face up. It is the opposite of all the other pieces, and that is what confuses some people. Okay. And then we're going to trim for number 2. Sorry, I had to pause for a moment and then I forgot to press record again. But I just finished block number 5, or piece number 5. So now we're ready to do number 6. Okay, let's get these trimmed. And we're going to trim on the dotted lines. Do not trim on the solid lines. That is your sew line for joining the pieces together. And there is that unit. Here's one unit. Here's the other one that's just like it. My background could have come down a little more, but that will still get caught in the seam, but I need to be very careful there. So make sure your pieces do come all the way to the dotted line. So let's get these put together. They're going to go together like this. And there we have part of our building. This will get pressed open. So there it is, our Palazzo black blocks of the month. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you next time on Nana's Journey.